out as I come through. Busting in your line, cracking helmets in. I bring the pain, so what you gon' do? Stand there and just get shook out ya. So clean out your locker, I'm out to get ya. Cause I just popped ya. You can't take the pressure. You might as well quit cause you just can't last. Madden 2000, put your face in the grass.
Austin Safarian-Jenkins, the first touchdown of Jameis Winston's career.
And your pride in the dirt, so put on a skirt. If you come on the field and don't wanna get hurt, just bruised and beaten, all black and blue. And it's been like that since Madden 92.
Where you been? The streets been missing you. Welcome back, welcome back.
Yeah, I told you, nigga. Welcome back. Yeah, nigga. Welcome back. I told you I was coming back, nigga. Welcome back. I wanna jam below, homie. Let's go. Welcome back. Guess who's back? Any shot?
What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the show, Buccaneer Blake Sports, with your host, Mr. Buccaneer Blake himself. Well, I probably should take this off and do the interview. You know, probably want you to hear me a little bit better. There we go. It feels like the first time again. You know, after being off all these weeks and coming back and talking to you guys. It's been I personally been anticipating it. Coming back and talking to you guys about what's been going on. There's a lot of what to say. I've been saying it via Facebook and other social media, Twitter and Instagram, getting my point across. So I'm just happy to be back. It feels like the first time with the first week. When I first did it off of my Mac computer, it was so terrible. The lighting was so awful. The sound quality, I'm just glad to be back doing it. So I'm going to break them down into segments. We're going to go into a couple commercials and stuff. So I'm not monologuing and talking for too long. I'm going to break them down in segments. So I'm going to try to do everything a little bit different this time. Thankfully to everybody who's trying to help me out as it goes on, giving me more tips and everything. But we'll call this Catching Up Series. Ding! So where we left off at, the guy I wanted to see hired in Tampa Bay, Lovie Smith, was fired. I think mainly because it was the last 4 games, and our some players couldn't come up with plays on the offense when we needed it, and players on defense were, it was what it was. Lack of consistent pass rush and lack of secondary help. My feelings then were outraged and kind of angry, because you need a coach needs to be established 3 years on the team. He just got the quarterback, and these are my original feelings. At then, I don't like keep switching quarterbacks and head coaches. Granted, we went from Josh McCown to rookie quarterback with our first overall pick, Jameis Winston, and I think Lovie Smith laid down a lot of ground rules. A lot of cement, the first blocks on moving on to something better. He won't ever get to reap the benefits, and the way they fired him was unclassy as well, because Lovie Smith is nothing less than a class act. Any Buccaneer player I've talked to, anybody that I know personally, I've met the man myself. I have pictures. I don't know if you guys ever seen him, but I've met him myself, and he's a class act guy. Maybe he's a little too conservative. Maybe he's a little too soft-spoken. Tony Dungy was soft-spoken. Lo and behold, him and Lovie Smith were both in the Super Bowl being soft-spoken. That was my feelings. I was just outraged because I don't like to keep changing things without no plan. I get what the plan was. We were going to lose Dirk Cutter to probably the Philadelphia Eagles or probably some other team. And Lovie had just lost all these games, and 2 back-to-back with barely any wins. And you had an up-and-coming Dirk Cutter who was an offensive guru. that could get this offense moving and help the progression of Jameis Winston. Because Lovie Smith isn't an offensive guy, he's a defensive guy, so you rather add a guy in to do offensive stuff. It was just a lot of things going on that weren't said correctly and they were hearsay. So like I said, those were my feelings then versus my feelings now. I understand it's a business. I understand why they did what they did. I would prefer them to just say that, but you can't say that in these days. Say exactly how you feel versus hurting people's feelings. That just gets so old in this country. Everybody wants to be Billy Bad A, but when you speak your feelings to them, they're heartbroken. I'd rather have somebody tell me the truth than to sit up there and lie to me consistently. With the hiring of a new head coach comes in. See, I always backtrack all the time. People always said that Lovey wanted to bring his guys in. Lovey brought guys in from Chicago. So with you guys who said that, guess what's going to happen when you hire Dirk Cutter? He came from Atlanta. Guess who he brings over with him? Mike Smith, his old head coach who was unemployed. Much like Lovey was. He was unemployed. Mike Smith's going to coach the defense. We're going to have multiple fronts. We also brought in special team coach Nate Kaiser, offensive coordinator Todd Monken, defensive coordinator is going to be Mike Smith, D-line coach and important guy that we need is Jay Hayes, and secondary coach is John Hoke. You got a bunch of other positions I didn't think that were too intricate in what we're talking about right now. Those I put for the main places that we needed to talk about. And that needed a change and needed upgrades with those coaches in there. And the defensive coordinator, the D-line guy, Jay Hayes, I think he came from Cincinnati and was one of the best defensive line coaches in the league, per my sources and per sources I've read. And hopefully we can get it going. Hopefully you can get some help in there with Gerald McCoy. And like I said, he's been here this whole year and only had a couple partners in crime like Gaines Adams never got anything going. I'm having brain fart right now. Oh, Michael Bennett. It would have been nice to still have him here running together, racking up sacks, moving everything in. But with this whole new change and everything, I'm just interested to see how it goes. I'm interested to see what kind of guys we bring over from Atlanta, or what kind of things we're going to take from there, or is Mike Smith going to change his failures that happened in Atlanta that got him fired, because Atlanta's defense wasn't too hot around that time, and they're still not now. He's not coaching them, but they only finished the season with 19 sacks. I think the Buccaneers had, I want to say, either 28 or 38. I believe so. I think it's 38. They said we were getting sacks. They weren't consistent, especially like on 3rd and 20s. That teams kept converging on us, and stuff like that. So hopefully these coaches and players that we're going to bring in the future can change everything. So that's basically all that's happened so far as far as coaches with catching up and everything, and Lovie Smith getting fired, Dirk Cutter getting hired. Jason Light's still in there. The Glazers pretty much hand everything off to them to let them do everything they need to do. And I'm just optimistic right now. I don't know what's going on. I told you I just don't like to keep changing everything. Successful teams has consistent head coaches and consistent quarterbacks. Well, I hope Dirk Cutter proves me wrong and shuts my mouth, and hopefully everything stays consistent. I don't mind being wrong. I'll admit when I'm wrong. So I hope he comes in and everything turns out good for the team moving forward. So let's take a break with the catching up, and we'll move on to our next segment, my predictions and thoughts for the whole offseason and the offseason moves. Of course, my theories are going to change versus what happens in free agency and then via draft, as everything, you don't really know what's going to happen right now until free agents get signed, and then it kind of depicts what the teams are going to do in the draft. So you guys check out these couple commercial breaks, and I'll be right back.
Man, I can't believe it's finally the week of greatness at Foot Locker.
A whole week of the most premium kicks? Feels like all is right with the world.
I'm sorry, Evander. It's your ear.
So, Mr. Rodman, round trip to North Korea?
One way.
One way? Woo!
Goodbye, old friends.
I okay?
Well, that's great. But a man's got to know when to walk away.
My ear. I kept that in formaldehyde.
One way. He said one way.
He's never coming back! Thanks.
I don't know. Things just feel different.
Welcome back, everyone. Let's continue with the second segment of my predictions and thoughts. So let's start. There's just so much material. I don't know where to start sometimes. On off-season moves, my thoughts about the combine have changed over the years. And what I mean by that is, I like those who know me and those who begin to watch me and understand how I operate. I really enjoy the game of football. I enjoy all aspects of it. I enjoy playing it. I enjoy learning new things from it. I enjoy watching players that are better than me and learning stuff from them. But I believe the combine doesn't show you too much. What 40-yard dash, and that's pretty much all everybody talks about. They don't say anything about a broad jump. Who cares about an offensive lineman doing a vertical or a broad jump? I get you want to look at leg explosion, but the people, I can't say it any other way. America's stupid. I said you have to dumb it down for them. The only thing they understand is a 40 time. As I said before, people wanted Mariota over Winston for the simple fact of a 40-yard dash. 40-yard dash, that's it. I always liked the mobile quarterback, and I never had one watching Mike Vick chasing him around all the time. I always liked that option threat. But what I've learned over time is that you don't have to be fast to be mobile and elusive. And I've watched that from watching the NFL films, videos of elusive quarterbacks, and they weren't blazers. Steve Young wasn't a blazer, but he scrambled a lot. So with the 40-yard dash, I think is very overplayed, and and that'll come back into play later in the segment about what we're about people and we're talking about here. I think one last thing about that, I think you should judge game tape over the combine, the 40-yard. I'm going to keep saying the 40-yard dash because that's the only thing people remember. Literally. I said somebody will go back and try to look at a broad jump real quick and act like they knew. Only people know is the 40-yard dash. I love that the team plans on keeping Vincent Jackson. He's a class act. He's a great asset to this community. And I think keeping him, even with the contract as it is a great choice. He's earned his contract here in my eyes. He's been available. He's helped mentor people. And barring last season because of injury, and knowing how old he is, Deshaun Ghostin took, I ain't going to call it a cheap shot. It's just this is the league bars you to do now is to hit players low like that. And that's just going to happen. And there was no ill will between either one of them because Deshaun Ghostin said it best. That's what I have to do to survive in this league. I understand it. I'm not mad at you. And Vincent Jackson tried to play through pain. He just wasn't effective. Granted, opened up the doors for the guy I said who would come through as a star player. Well, I ain't gonna say star player, as a up and rising player was Adam Humphries. He usually made all his catches, didn't have any drops. There weren't big gains, but you knew he was on the field. Dante Dye had his chances. With me, he kind of made me angry, dropping a lot of wide open balls in key situations, much like Mike Evans, and in the past Vincent Jackson as well. Having class. I don't know which part I want to go over first. I think I'll go with my predictions for the off season. This is one free agent lineman. a lot of it changed because a lot of guys got franchise tag. That's why I wanted to wait till after March 1st to do this segment. Now let me also help out. I know people say you've seen a corner we interviewed, Brian McCain from Miami Dolphins. The reason we can interview him because right now he's a free agent. Free agency period doesn't start till the Monday the 7th, I believe. Monday the 7th is when officially a free agent starts, because that's when the contracts expire. You are a pending free agent until that day. If I broke that down easier, your contract ends March 7th, which other teams can sign you. Now, if you were cut like Mario Williams and Brian McCain, your contract is already expired, so you can be signed right now by a team. I just want to break that down first. So, Cody Glenn went off my list. Another guy I wanted on the D-line was Muhammad Wilkerson. I doubt that was going to happen, but I wanted it. Tyshawn Gibson, I think, is a player of free safety I know we can get. I know they keep saying that Danny Lansan and Bradley McDouglas weren't going to be picked up because of the, I think it's 1.75 or 2.75 contract, I think, between the both of them, or something like that. But I believe it's because we won't sign them and let them go on free agency and then pick them back up for lesser money, barring, CBA type stuff. The stuff I don't get too involved with the contracts between the NFL Players Association and the league. But I think that's what's going to happen. We'll see if they come back, because I think Bradley McDouglas was going to be an up-and-coming player, and Danny Lansan, he's 30 now, and I think he's made great contribution to this team, and I would love to see him on this roster. That's out the way. Deshaun Gibson, I think, would be a great asset to this team with free agency. He's a pick machine. He's a cover monster. I want him here. If you're watching this tape, I want you here. I said corners you're looking at. Tremaine Johnson got franchise tag. A guy I always liked since he came out from Montana, I believe. The Rams picked him back up because I believe Janoris Jenkins wants this big monster elephant contract, which he's been average corner, decent corner in this league, not an all-star. Runs a little bit too much of his mouth. And I would rather him play more and make plays than to do that. But he's a good corner. Guy got kicked out from Florida, went to a smaller college and got drafted in the first round. Not going to take anything from the guy. He worked hard. He got there. Janoris Jenkins or Sean Smith or Prince Amukamara. Prince Amukamara is a little younger, along with Janoris Jenkins. I would like to have either one there. If we can get Sean Smith for a short time, I would like that. He's a big 6'2" corner. Not sure exactly what we're going to be running, man or zone, with these new defense. I don't know. I think Sterling Moore is, I've said this a million times, he's a good corner. He covered all number one receivers and didn't get embarrassed. He was always in the right place. Just the guy made right place. The guy made a better play. That's I can't be mad at that. You're where you're supposed to be, and the guy made the play. We get a better pass rush, it'll be him making those plays, and the quarterback can't make such an accurate throw. I'm going to come back to what I just said right there, too. Defensive linemen, got Pierre Paul, Nick Fairley. I would like to see either one there. Offensive lineman, I would never be mad at spending money on the line. Never be mad spending money on the line. The game is won in the trenches. The fans don't like it. It's not glorifying because it's won in the trenches. You're not watching it. The cameraman's not going, oh my, good gracious, Alex Mack is making a monster block out there. Oh, I forgot. I missed the pass downfield to Calvin Johnson. It's just not exciting to people. But that's where the game is won, in the trenches, my friend. Bar you not, the quarterback can't throw the ball without a line. Barring the running back can't find running lanes without a line, and you can't do anything without the front seven on both sides of the ball. Barring us, inconsistent pass rush, you can throw for 300 yards a game on us. We had Darrelle Revis here, and we still giving up the pass. It's not the corners. It's not the safety. It's the pass rush. If you don't believe me, I've said this several times to people. Go back, watch the New York Giants. I changed my whole thought on this after that. Watch the New York Giants. They had no corners both times in the Super Bowl against the New England Patriots and handled them. Handled them with no corners. Go watch the tape. Go back and pull transactions, injuries. They had no starting corners. None. You had third and fourth string corners playing against, the second time was against Randy Moss. And they won the Super Bowl. Both times. But the one thing that was consistent, though, was a pass rush. Pass rush was consistent. That's what matters. And that's why my train of thought has changed on that. Getting all passionate and all that. I'm just happy to be back talking to you guys. I got tired of saying I'm going to put it out. And I didn't. So here it is, guys. And you're going to get 110% from me. Now, I've watched a lot of interviews with people. And as I told you, I'm sold on getting defensive linemen. I'm sold on getting defensive linemen and help creating the front of the house, helping the back of the house. The front of the house is the D-line, helping the back of the house. So they don't have to work so hard and cover people so long. And you get quicker throws and errant throws to get picks. Both sides are cocked. Everything works like that. It's not one or the other. It's both. Just like offense and defense. It's both. One has to help the other. One may not be doing as good as the other, so the other side has to pick up. Just like the Super Bowl. Everybody keeps saying this, the Broncos D won the Super Bowl. Yeah, they did. The offense did what they were supposed to do as well. They didn't turn no balls over and kept the game in manageable situations where they can win. Bravo to the offense. Defense did win the game, not taking it away. They won the Super Bowl. They had a better game plan. They won. Got out-coached, got out-played. They won. So what I believe, well, like I said, I watched a lot of interviews. I watched Vernon Groves right before I did this interview. And as I said, I'm sold on defensive line, but Vernon Hargroves is really watching him talk, not even play. Watching him talk has changed. I ain't gonna say changed. It has me optimistic about where we should spend that pick. I really believe Dolphins will pick him up, but I'm really optimistic on picking up Vernon Hargroves. He said all he talks about is keeping your body ready, preparing for the game. I was young when I played Amari Cooper, and I was ready for Laquan Treadwell because Amari Cooper got me ready to play Laquan Treadwell because I knew how to prepare for a game. You just didn't come out there and play. Playing is one thing. When you're playing on a pro level with men, body and mind and body. I wish when I played, I had this as much as I had this. Because there's stuff I probably could have changed. There's games we probably could have won if I had both of those at that time. But you only learn that when you get older. When you get wiser, when you actually stop and think. And that's in all things in life. Football's life. I'm telling you, I said it before in a segment. Not this segment, but I said it before. Football is life. They go hand in hand. Football's not forever. Life isn't forever. Love isn't forever. People aren't forever. It changes. It's all how you play the game. Now, I believe what's going to happen is, my personal feeling, what I believe is going to happen is, you get one veteran corner, one veteran D lineman, one rookie corner, one rookie D lineman. That's what I think the first two picks are going to be. One another. Mark my words, one of those top defensive linemen, I think the dude from Oklahoma State, that's who I think is going to fall, and we can get him in the second round. I would love for Noah Spence to fall. That's who I really want to pick, but I understand. Picking at 9 for a guy that they keep judging his 40-yard dash against Khalil Mack and Von Miller. Von Miller is just a freak. He ran a 4.6 40. Von Miller ran a 4.7. Noah ran a 4.8. But what I noticed is only person in the first 10 yards, the only person was beating was Von Miller. He was beating Khalil Mack. Granted, I'm happy it doesn't take 40 yards to get a sack, and I think his quick burst is much faster than his top end speed. His top end speed was the same as Khalil Mack's and Von Miller's for the most part. Von Miller beat him on a couple steps. Von Miller's a great athlete, and that's hard to par him up against, but he gets around those edges pretty well. And he's tackled his drug problem. After this Peyton Manning thing, yeah, nobody needs to judge anybody on stupid mistakes as a young man, especially if you come back with proof that you've been doing what you've been supposed to be doing, going to rehab, doing what you're supposed to do, and when people talk about it, you're not shying away from it. You're opening up to the people, answering the questions that they want to ask. You're not hiding from it, and that speaks a lot. As people told me when we kept arguing about Cam Newton and stuff like that, it's like you said, he opened up to it and let people know that you can trust me. I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Not like Johnny Manziel, where you went to rehab, which was a fluke. You didn't care about rehab. You just cared about playing in your superstardom and your spotlight. And then you punch your girlfriend in the head and ruptured her eardrum. That man ever plays another snap in this league, I better not ever hear anybody ever complain about somebody getting a second chance. They need to be calling down Ray Rice, the second Johnny Manziel even wears a uniform, coming out to a preseason game of practice and offering this man a job. Because he did hit his wife. And I'm not saying what he did was right either. But let me tell you something that was a fact. They both were arrested. She assaulted him. He assaulted her. They both were arrested. They weren't married, and they're married today. Both sorry for the incident. Just because it was caught on tape, I guess people's emotions are different than Johnny Manziel's. But for Greg Hardy's, it's not on tape. They're terrible people, and they're probably playing this league. But if Johnny Manziel plays another snap in this league, Ray Rice needs to be playing. And that's it on that. But that's what I believe. It'll be one veteran. I would love to see Tamba Ali or Mario Williams here, or Junior Collette. Junior Collette got hurt for the Redskins. He didn't put to play. He came from the Saints. I'm sure he would love to play against his old team and beat up on him. Get other veteran players in with younger players and mix them together and get type of a rotation thing going in there. I don't believe spending too much money on him. We do need to get Doug Martin back. I don't think he's worth $8 million. I'm not saying this to be mean, Dougie. I'm talking about the 2 seasons that you were in effect. I'm not sure if it was all you. Those are all speculations, but the 2 years you were healthy, you did ball out, and I think it should be incentive-based. I think if he stays healthy and plays it, I think his contract should lead up to maybe $8 million, whatever number you work out. He did earn his money. He's been here. He's been staying out of trouble. He's been a class act since he's been here. I do believe you should be rewarded for the good things that you do. Injuries are a thing that happens. You're not injury-prone. And he's gone, balled out 110%. He's been the nicest guy every time I meet him. And when I met him, I didn't even think about myself. I didn't even think about getting pictures for me. I thought about everybody else getting to know Doug Martin. Not sure if he'll remember me, but I remember. David Claypool, if you're watching this, you can add the picture in the comment section. But yeah, I believe we need to be keeping pieces together and adding pieces instead of taking pieces away and trying to replace and build on top of it. Especially something that's so intricate to the offense and moving the ball, which is the running game in the league, converging to the passing game. You had the second leading passer in the league. Second leading rusher in the league, and a quarterback that threw for 4,000 yards, a rookie QB. Let's keep adding to that with my boy Charles Simsey. Another player, that Robert Nadisky guy, I think he could fall down. Oh, and there's some other linemen I forgot to add. Russell Okung from Seattle, Kelsey Salimi from Baltimore, and Alex Boone for guards, just in case Alex Macon retires. Not sure it's going to happen. Like, a lot of this is all speculation. It's just hard to say right now. And everything could totally change for my next segment. I'm going to try to keep giving you guys video updates and stuff. I'm reading articles. I'm reading. And I'm giving you guys everything that I know that I've read and that I know which is true. And I'm giving you everything verbally versus what I'm reading. And those are from all different people. It's just not my opinions. It's just a lot of different stuff. I'll let you know when it's my opinion, but a lot of it's just from the paper. But yeah, that's pretty much it with the offseason part. One veteran D-line, one veteran corner, one rookie corner, one one rookie D-lineman. This is what I think what should happen. And I think we could get either a corner or one of the corners to fall down later, or one of the D-linemen to fall down later. I think we could get it. There's some other corners, but I'll go into all that later with my mock draft. Maybe around the 8th, when March 8th, when the stuff start happening. Birthday shout out. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. You guys know I'm a zombie. I don't sleep. 3:16 in the morning. Happy birthday, Fatima Hutchins. You may feel you're old, but you're not. You're as young as you feel, and you're as young as you look. You still look like as young as the day I met you. Thanks, guys, for waiting for me. Thanks for supporting me. Thanks for giving me help on stuff I needed help on, and I'm gonna keep getting better. And I'm gonna interview some of you guys and think about what you want to talk about. Kirk Cousins getting $19 million, winning $20 million a year. Sam Bradford getting basically $18 a year, 2 years, $36 million, and then got, I think Zach said it was $22 million guaranteed. One of them, like I said, you can't go by all reports all the time. It's in $20 million signing bonus range, between $20 and $30 million signing bonus range. Not worth your money. Hasn't won anything. I'm not going to get into that. I've been arguing about that enough. You guys have a good night. Thank you. And this will be up tomorrow. God bless, guys.